What is this? A language selection screen. Yes, we'll be playing in English. But what are we playing, Mr. Cloud? Hey, wait a minute. This looks like a Pokemon Gen 3 remake.
I was going to say Pokemon Crystal, but I think Pokemon Gen 3 was it. Yep.
This is actually a very pretty intro. Presented by Game Freak.
Every Pokemon is but a drop of water.
Ah, Latios! Holy shit, an actual 3D map. A bike.
A person.
And there's our protagonist.
He has a hat.
Actually, it's just a bandana. I mean, I know it looks like it's a hat, but it's not. Let's see. Camera up. Sharpedo. Groudon.
Blaziken.
Swampert,
Sceptile. Dude.
Maxie,
what's his name?
Steven.
Groudon again.
Groudon doing an Omega thing. Ooh. And
And
so, welcome back everyone to Pokemon. Wait for it. Wait for it. Omega Ruby.
Yeah.
Yes. I am doing a Pokemon Omega Ruby run for the channel. Specifically because of the way that I like to play Pokemon these days. I'm going to be doing a significantly different run for Pokemon Omega Ruby. Oh, he's got an Azurill.
What?
It's the moving truck.
Wow, that took me for a loop. We're playing a handheld game, and then we were playing a handheld game inside the handheld game.
So canonically, Pokemon Gen 3 exists in the Gen 3 remake universe. Hey, Leiron.
You guys don't live in the forest. Who are you kidding? You guys do.
Shroomish and Poochyena. Tropius. Tropius does not live anywhere near where we are. And rustling grass.
Ah, come on. There's not a Mew just wandering around here.
Nah, probably not, at least. Also a Tailo. We have arrived.
Hey, it's that Azurill that we saw. We actually had taken it from our device and made a doll out of it or something.
Well, since we're playing as Gerdat. Sorry, we're playing as Demon.
We're playing as Demon again. Demon has a lot of callings. He's been a carpenter.
No, wait.
Time traveler.
Yes, we are in fact playing as
And
Gerdat.
now he is a Gerdat.
It has been forever since I've actually watched these Raws.
I'm trying to remember if I've ever given my character a smart-ass name so that I would read it every time it came up. Or either that or I'm remembering it from Game Grumps.
Gen 1 and 2 is where that's actually viable, because I think the only characters that actually say your name on a regular basis are May and Steven. I mean, sure, there's Birch, but, like, you don't talk to Birch enough for that to matter.
Nobody talks to the Pokemon prof after the first 5 minutes of a game.
No, you do talk to him a little bit. Whoosh. Here we are. Oh, there's a jet in the sky. Huh. Now, there are some artifacts of my corrupted recording here. Unfortunately, because of the way that my rig runs at the moment, the audio specifically for this is a bit crappier than it's supposed to be. But a majority of the rest of the game is actually as intended. Yes, I'm playing this on a 3DS emulator.
And those are the moving Machokes.
Machoke. I mean, in Ruby and Sapphire, was it Emerald that they switched over to Vigoroth?
No, they were Machokes in Gen 3, but I can't. Gen 3 was the very last generation of Pokemon that I played.
Well, I remember one of the games having them be Vigoroth instead of Machoke. I just forget if it was Emerald or if it was Ruby or Sapphire that had it be that way.
Huh. You must be the good guy. That Slackoth over here? He's the slacker.
Yeah, I don't know how to do the templates that Chugga Conroy does for his Pokemon playthroughs. Sorry, guys.
Well, they say that necessity is the mother of invention, so we invented this little bordering for the video because it is a DS game. So naturally, it would be taller than it is wider.
It's a DS game.
Oh right, because your dad in this game is the 6th gym leader.
5th.
He was almost the 6th gym leader.
Hey, it's May's house. Hi, May's mom.
Don't you people knock?
No, we are a protagonist. We are not allowed to knock.
Ah, the innocence of youth.
Hey, May. I mean, given how physically developed May is, I think we're supposed to be 14.
Girls tend to enter puberty before boys.
Yes.
So she's probably somewhere between 12 and 13 years old.
All right, 13 then.
Everybody's body's different.
Yep.
And her dad is Professor Birch.
Yep. Now, for the record, they actually ship Brendan and May really, really hard throughout the game.
I like the facial animation so far because that's one thing that was definitely absent from the Game Boy Advance is that everything was just a sprite and a text box.
Mm-hmm. And Birch is under attack by a Poochyena. Let us save him from the Poochyena.
My hair is on fire! My hair is on fire!
He's nipping at my sandals. Alright, so, ooh, what is this? A Magmar, a Sneasel, and a Misdreavus.
Oh yeah, now, would you kindly explain why we are not seeing the classic starter Pokemon?
Because this is a randomizer run, and the Poochyena evolved into an Ampharos.
Level 3 Ampharos, sure.
So,
I will slap
by
you.
randomized run, I mean all of our wild encounters will be randomized. The types of the Pokemon that we'll be getting are randomized. The movesets of the Pokemon are randomized. The evolutions are randomized, although I won't be showing that off that much. And all of the Pokemon that the trainers have will be randomized.
That hurt.
Not really, because we are a poison type. So we are actually resistant to bug type attacks, which is what Leech Life is.
I am so confused. So, okay, the moveset is random. The evolution tree is random. The types of the Pokemon are random. So we don't even know what type this Ampharos is right now.
That is correct. Although he is not very affected by poison, so it's likely he is either poison or rock.
Yeah, rock would be it, or bug. Bug also has resistance to poison.
In one of the generations, it no longer has that. I think they accidentally had that in Gen 1, and it didn't fucking matter because all the bug types that were viable aside from Butterfree were part poison, except for Scyther. Scyther and Pinsir were not part poison, but it didn't matter because poison was a shit attacking type in Gen 1 anyway.
I think I remember the moment when I realized that bug was super effective against psychic types, and it was while I was playing Pokemon Stadium.
Because you had to use Jolteon's Pin Missile in order to get through Alakazam.
Pretty much, yeah. Right, well, is it really a Trico?
No, it's our Sneasel.
So, the game apparently is not going to hold your hand through this. If you're playing, if you got a randomizer version of Pokemon that's not stocked by manufacturer's intentions, you better know what the hell you're doing. I definitely don't right now.
Yep. We're to have because it's the popular thing to do. We're having a naming convention for our main team. All of our team will be named after DC Comics characters. Because our Sneasel is female, she is named Poison Ivy, because she is actually a poison slug. Hello, Dino.
Hey, how are you?
Here, have a poison tail. Now I don't believe I'll be showing off all of our random battles, but I probably will because I didn't do as much editing for this game as I was supposed to. But to be perfectly honest, this still goes significantly faster than it should because believe it or not, randomizers, at least for me, tend to make the game significantly easier. Which is why this particular run is going to have another restriction on it that I will get into when it becomes relevant.
Just the idea that you can have Pokemon that you wouldn't ordinarily have. You can have
Trico.
But then that also brings up another question is, well, I mean, look, now we're running into starter Pokemon in the grass. What are the gym leaders going to have? What are the trainer battles going to consist of? Just everything is up in the air, and apparently you don't know what you're supposed to anticipate. Except pain.
And not even all that much of that, to be perfectly honest. I will say that one of the things that the randomizer takes away from is the majesty of the gym leaders, since the gym leaders are no longer type themed. But you know, for a good portion of the rest of the run, I think that it actually holds the Pokemon experience significantly more true than what Pokemon actually wants to do, because Pokemon. At its core is a collectathon that has the collectathon be optional, and the randomizer makes it so that all of the options are available to you. Whereas in classic Pokemon, a lot of the encounters are set in stone.
Right, and that's how the game. That's how the game regulated how strong you are at any given point. You can only get Pokemon from these grassy areas. Which Pokemon, you may ask? They are predetermined by which route you're on. No, you're not going to find a wild Kingler just wandering around in the grass. It's too damn hot for a penguin to be just walking around here.
He's got Fellstinger.
Fellstinger.
Nice.
That's not a Gen 3 move.
No, it is not. Because this is a Gen 3 remake, we are operating off of the Gen 6 move lists and type lists. So specifically, you can expect to see some amount of fairy type representation as we go through the game.
I got one more question. What determines how much experience you get from defeating wild Pokemon?
That is dependent on individual species.
So, if you run into evolved forms of Pokemon, then you will get even more experience from those feints than from their less evolved counterparts.
Yes.
So I could see that this can go really quickly, which is tragic because this actually is a rather lengthy playthrough. But it's a fucking Pokemon game. Of course, it's going to be a lengthy playthrough.
Yeah, it's an RPG. It's why I'm not actually allowed to do all that many RPGs for the channel, because then we end up running them for a full year.
So what are some other early game exploits that can help us get that can help the new randomizer player get the ball rolling?
Well, depending on how you randomize it, one of the big things that you're going to need to know is the BST totals of Pokemon that you want on your team. If you're going in completely blind, like I was not for this playthrough, but if you're going in completely blind with a randomizer, it helps to familiarize yourself with the base stat totals of various Pokemon. That way you can figure out what you want your team to end up looking like towards the end of the game.
The early game stuff tends to be the hardest. You'll see why. Because May is about to destroy us with a fucking lucky drop.
May is gonna absolutely obliterate us. Even though we're 2 levels
Latios!
higher. Yeah, she got Latios as her starter.
Because everybody's eligible. You got a 1 in 390 chance of running into Latios.
It's way more than that, Cloud. At this point, the Pokedex, I think, is 720.
Parabolic charge.
Yep.
Okay, so
that was a signature attack from the Helioptile line.
Fuck, I can't remember what I was going to say. Stone Edge.
Ouch.
I'm going to send you back to the Stone Edge.
We don't actually have healing items yet, so if she hits us again with Stone Edge, we're toast.
What?
Oh, and she's got a healing berry, too. Bastard.
He ate it. And in the next part, we are going to contemplate our life choices after getting destroyed by an Aeroblast.
Be safe, everybody. Blackout.